We treat spiritual growth like any other academic subject. We collect data on energy fields, memorize the locations of chakras, and assume that understanding the theory is the same as undergoing the change. But for the seeker, a library can easily become a cage. Hindu yogis insist there are 7 energy centers. Jaina scriptures count 9. Buddhists describe dozens. These aren't contradictions of fact, but differences in emphasis. When you rely on a borrowed map, you spend more time debating the geography than actually walking the path. We find ourselves in a strange middle ground, stuck between the unconscious, unworried life of an animal and the fully conscious bliss of the divine. We occupy a space that feels inherently incomplete. We are a bridge suspended between 2 worlds. To cross that bridge, the map has to be set aside. Growth isn't found in the accumulation of someone else's descriptions, but in the heat of your own internal, lived experience. Moving forward requires a clean break from the past. You have to trade the safety of the scripture for the risk of the territory. The journey starts at the base of the spine, in the muladhar. This is the primal fire of biological sex and survival. It is the raw energy that tethers us to the physical world and ensures the continuation of the species. Many spend their entire lives here, caught in a cycle of generating energy and then blindly throwing it away for a moment of relief. You work, you eat, you accumulate, and then you release. It is a loop that keeps the engine running, but never moves the car. Breaking this cycle requires a deliberate redirection. You have to force that energy to flow upward, working against the natural gravity of biological instinct. Just below the navel, the energy encounters the second center, the hara. If the first center is about the drive for life, this is the center of death. While Indian traditions focused on the transformation of life, Japanese culture recognized the hara as the point where existence is most easily severed. They understood it as a center of instant release, far more efficient than any other point in the body. To rise further, these 2 forces must be reconciled. The hara, it ascends into the chest, reaching the anahata. This is the heart chakra, the structural midpoint of the entire system. Below it are the centers shared with the animal kingdom: food, power, and reproduction. Above it are the centers of the divine. In the lower centers, energy is extractive. We take what we need to survive. But at the heart, that raw survival heat is refined into a frequency of sharing. This is the birth of compassion and prayer. This shift from taking to giving is what separates a sophisticated predator from a human being. Without the heart, we are simply biologically advanced animals. With it, we finally cross the threshold of our own humanity. From the heart, the energy climbs to the forehead, hitting the agya center between the eyebrows. This is the third eye. It is the domain of pure willpower and logic. It is where the mind commands its reality. To pass this point, you have to achieve a final paradox. The mind must use its immense willpower to execute a total surrender. The aggressive, logical self must melt into a receptive, intuitive flow. This is the moment where the internal struggle ends. The individual ego makes its last sacrifice. You stop trying to conquer the universe and simply begin to flow with it. The journey concludes at the very crown of the head. This is the sahasrar, the 1,000-petaled lotus. It is a state of absolute relaxation where nothing remains hidden and no further movement is required. You have arrived. We usually view the end of life with fear as an unconscious failure of the body, but for the enlightened, this 7th center transforms that departure into a conscious, joyful event. At this height, the dualities that define our world vanish. Male and female, day and night, life and death, they all merge into a single, unified reality. This is the end of the separate self. The individual drop of consciousness has finally found its way home to the cosmic ocean. The map can give you the names of these places, but only your own experience can take you there. Real transformation isn't a subject to be studied, it's a fire to be lived.